would you do if a doctor offered to do a procedure for you for free? Would that be a red flag that maybe he or she was not legit? Monica says that she didn't think twice when her doctor told her having laser hair removal would be free. Okay, so they said it would be free. How did that happen?
Well, I actually heard through a friend that this doctor was doing laser hair removal through the insurance. I'm young. I'm 21 years old. I had no idea that insurance doesn't cover laser hair removal.
Yeah, it's too cosmetic.
I had no idea. So I just jumped the gun and I was like, hey, I'm going to go for a consultation and find out about this. I just have full coverage. Why not? What I got to lose?
So you showed them your insurance card when you got there?
I showed up with my insurance card. They took the photocopies. It looked like a legit doctor's office.
Got it.
You know, it was on a main street of doctor's offices.
Now, just cut to the future, just real fast before we get into your story. Later you found out that they billed your insurance, but for something else.
Yeah.
What did they bill your insurance for?
For varicose veins.
Varicose vein?
Yeah.
Like varicose vein removal, which is covered by insurance.
Which is covered by insurance.
Okay.
I don't have that.
So you wanted to get your underarm hair lasered off.
Yes.
Tell us your story about your weight loss and stuff.
I actually lost 120 pounds.
Wow.
I've had the gastric bypass procedure done. And for me, it was just something that I wanted to do for myself. I would get razor rashes. I know all the girls know about this. You know, you get razor rashes, you got to shave every day, you know, for the stubs or, you know, ingrown hairs. And I just felt, hey, it's free. Why not do it?
Got it.
And I was even going to do the downstairs area, but thank God I didn't.
Well, thank God you didn't. Okay, so the day, what happened on the day? They put cream on your armpits?
Well, what happened is I went into the room, he had me put on some goggles, and he didn't even disinfect the area, which for me was very strange and odd. And I even asked, I put on some deodorant earlier today. Shouldn't you clean it? No, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Don't worry. Goes into the cabinet, takes out a cream, and says that it's an anesthetic to numb the area. He's a doctor. I listened to him, you know. So I just lied there and let him put on the cream, and that's when he read a paper, which also red flag, like I said.
What do you mean he read a paper?
He read off of a paper. Literally, when he was taking the cream out.
Like, wait, how do I do this laser surgery?
Like,
let me see.
Exactly. That's the feeling that I felt. I'm like, okay, wait, this is weird.
He's reading instructions.
Reading instructions on how to put on this machine. So I'm thinking, all right, maybe he's just going to look at the level. You know, through your head, you're just thinking that's what they're supposed to do.
So he starts lasering you, and what does it feel like?
The pain at first was tolerable because he started from the top down. So as he started to go lower, I felt more burning. And it started burning, and I'm like, doctor, this is burning. It's not, it doesn't feel right. And he's like, don't worry, stop exaggerating.
Stop exaggerating.
Stop exaggerating is what he told me. And
he's like, stop exaggerating. Like, step two?
Inside step two.
Okay. So you told him it felt like it was burning. He said, stop exaggerating. Then he started to blister.
Yes.
So a blister developed, and what did he do with that blister?
As he goes down to the, well, this is how it blistered. He actually, at that spot where I have that 3rd-degree burn, he actually said, this is a difficult area. And instead of lifting the laser, which is now how I find out they're supposed to do it, he literally rubbed laser into my armpit. And I can't explain the feeling that I had. It was just like a burn. I felt like my armpits were getting like branded. I was getting branded alive.
I heard he popped the blister.
He leans over and grabs a napkin, a wet napkin, and pops it. It was just the worst pain ever. And when he was like doing it on the other arm, like he got the napkins and was just patting it, it was just making it worse, and it was just horrible.
It was horrible. So then you walk into you call your friend and she takes you to the hospital. You're in the emergency room and they start treating her in the hallway, you guys. Again, something that is so crazy, it's like, just get her. And they discovered that you had 1st degree, 2nd degree, and 3rd degree burns. So now, how does it feel like under your armpits? Like, you're normal human, we sweat. What does it feel like when you're like sweating and just like...
Well, for the show, I have like 3 pounds of napkins under my armpits.
Really?
I sweat easily, and it burns. To this day, this happened August 5th, and to this day, it burns. And up until about 2 weeks ago was when I was able to take off the gauze. But it was raw flesh, and it's gotten infected. It was like an inferno that I would walk in, and my armpits would just ignite. It was just but worse.
With us is Monica's lawyer, Spencer Aronfeld. Now, from a legal perspective, is there anything that Monica can do legally?
Well, first of all, it's much easier to help clients like this prevent it from happening than try to help them enforce their legal rights once it's already happened.
Really?
So the key thing is, if anyone's offering to do an elective cosmetic procedure and bill your insurance, that's a tremendous flashing red flag.
Got it.
You should contact your insurance and say, wait a second, would you guys actually pay for an elective cosmetic procedure? For sure they're going to say no. Do not trust for a moment what a doctor puts on his website, because anybody, including my 10-year-old daughter,
Can
create
make a website. Yeah.
So you need to contact the Department of Health in your state and make sure that this doctor is in fact licensed to practice.
Yeah. What about fraud? Fraud is illegal.
Fraud is completely illegal, and it's a crime. And if somebody tells somebody anything, like I'm going to do this procedure for you, and does another procedure, says I'm going to bill your insurance and doesn't bill your insurance, that's a crime.
That's a crime.
But contacting your Department of Health in your state, independently of whatever the person purporting to be a doctor says, is one important way to prevent yourself from becoming a victim. I think, in Monica's case, we don't know if the person who did her procedure is in fact licensed to practice medicine.
Yeah. Doesn't sound like they are.
Or has any training or insurance.
We'll be right back.